This video is all about strings. All about strings. As you guys know, or hopefully know, I've been playing Ernie Ball strings and they have been supporting me and the channel for quite some time. They're awesome guys. Personally, I deal with the guys at Strings at Things in the UK. Bunch of legends, absolute legends, and the guys in the US. They really are great at supporting the little guys like me, which is really cool to see. By the way, my name's Jackson. This is Dipswitch Demos. Please subscribe and do all that stuff. It really helps me carry on making these videos and stuff if it's something that you want to do. If not, don't worry about it. I won't be upset. For as long as I can remember, I've been using 11s. 11s or heavier. And what I mean by that is that most of the time I use 11 to 54. So pretty chunky ass things. I think they call them beefy slinkies. And I don't know why, in a way. I don't know why I cause myself so much pain. I think there's some sort of unconscious thing in my brain where I kind of think that the thicker the string, the better it's going to sound, the better it's going to feel. And maybe that's just not right anymore. This video kind of comes from a couple of guys I follow on social media. Rexall, for example, put out a video where he strung up his guitar with 9s, and he A-B'd the two in a studio environment, and not only did he say the 9s felt better, but they sounded better on the lower end and had more clarity on the higher end. Wanted to try it out, essentially. And what better time to do it than when Ernie Ball released some new sets. The skinny top, beefy bottom, so kind of maybe something that I'm more familiar with. So we get 10 to 54, so still pretty chunky. Turbo Slinky, 9.5 to 46. This might be something that I'm going to enjoy very much, or going to try and enjoy, I think. We also have the Mighty Slinky, which is probably too far the other way for me. That's 8.5 to 40. Mondo Slinky, similar to the skinny top beefy bottom, we have a 10 to 52 set. Like I said, I've always used heavy strings, and I don't know why. I think a lot of my favourite players use super heavy strings. I'm thinking Ariel Posen uses like 12 to 56 at the moment. So we're going to put a set of those 9.5s on here. My St. Vincent, my beautiful St. Vincent, kind of not been on camera for a few weeks. Don't know why, just hasn't really done it. But the strings are pretty new. They're about 4 days old. And they are the 11 to 54 on here at the moment. So first of all, we'll see how this sounds, acoustically maybe, and through the amp. And then we'll swap the strings and see how I feel. I posted a picture on Instagram, and a lot of you guys were saying that using a lighter gauge really improved your technique, your touch, your feel, your dynamics. And that's something that, personally, I feel like is missing from my playing. All of those things. Technique, touch, feel, dynamics. I know we're all self-critical and stuff, but I just want to help improve my playing, and if maybe going down a couple gauges is going to do that, then I'm more than happy to try it out. So let's get some tones right now with the 11 to 54 on the St. Vincent. Like I said, they're not brand new, but they're pretty new, and let's try out the Turbo Slinkies. So it's a very familiar feel for myself, the heavier gauge, and I don't know whether if I've almost forced myself to get used to it because of the subconscious idea that heavier strings are better. I like the way it sounds, but I've got some questions about the lighter gauge. So let's get started with that. First impressions, might be a little bit quieter, the strings. I guess one of the common preconceptions about heavier strings is that they're louder, more output. I would probably say these are a little quieter, but they feel a bit janglier. There also seems to be less of a tonal difference between the higher and lower strings maybe. I think because I was going for quite heavy strings on the bottom, they had a completely different feel to the higher strings. This feels maybe a slightly more balanced set across the fretboard, which is really nice as well. Obviously, they are in a way easier to play. Something I really struggled with specifically on the higher gauge strings is bending, maybe doing a two fret bend, doing a 2-fret bend, and then doing vibrato on top of that bend. I found that really hard with the heavier gauge, but with these, I think one thing I was worried about going down a lighter gauge is if I'd struggled to feel like I was getting underneath the strings, which is a feel that I really liked with a heavier gauge. Like I said, I use a heavy pick. I like being able to dig in a bit more. I still feel like I can dig in. I'm going to point out as well that this is not technically a sponsored video, but it also kind of is. Ernie Ball has been very supportive of me, and Strings at Things in the UK have been very supporting. So this was kind of an opportunity for me to try out some new gauges of strings, but also showcase the new slinkies from Ernie Ball, which are the Turbo Slinkies, which we've just put on, the Mighty Slinkies, which are your 8.5 to 40, crazy slinky those, and then the Mondo Slinky and the Slinky Top Beefy Bottom. Thanks guys for checking out the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and maybe check out some more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys!